All right, so talk to you guys a little bit about our Invisalign system that we have here. I think that Invisalign's a pretty popular thing. It's been around for quite a long time. Most people have heard about clear aligners before. Invisalign is usually the name brand that people think of. We use Invisalign here in our office. And we use it for a couple reasons. Most people, especially if you're an adult, the idea of having standard bracket braces and having metal in your mouth is not the most appealing thing for people to straighten their teeth. Luckily, we have the ability to use the clear aligner Invisalign system that you can place these trays, a series of trays in, and actually move your teeth to the proper position that they need to be put in without anybody actually knowing that you're in braces, essentially. You can see what the clear aligner looks like here. There's a couple of advantages to this system versus bracketed braces. If you can imagine standard braces you see teenagers in, it's a bracket on the front of the teeth, and that's the point of pressure that's going to be on those teeth there. There's some limitations with doing bracketed braces in the sense that you're kind of at the mercy of seeing your orthodontist, and it takes about 6 weeks to get you in just to have some movement. In Invisalign, we actually will give you a set of trays every time you come in, and you change those out every week. And that's the same thing as actually going to the orthodontist and getting your wire changed or getting your rubber bands changed. It's the same exact thing. The one point of pressure from brackets can actually cause some damage if you move teeth too quickly. So there are some downsides to bracketed braces. Now, what I will say about the positives of bracketed braces is that if you have a teenager, teenagers are not the most compliant people, and so if you try to give them Invisalign, when you change your trays, it's uncomfortable. Your teeth are moving. And with a teenage mind, sometimes if something doesn't feel good, they're not going to do it. So a bracketed brace system is probably going to be better because they can't take it out of their mouth, so it forces compliance. Now, for those of us that are adults or teenagers that are very compliant, the Invisalign system is great. The thing that I love about it is those clear aligners actually encompass your whole tooth and completely surround your tooth as it's moving it. It does it a lot more safely and a lot more quickly than traditional braces. Our average case is about 4 to 8 months total, including refinements or little touch-ups at the end. So this is exactly what the system looks like. I know there's no anchors on here, and I'll show you guys an example of 2 cases I had. You will have buttons on your teeth depending on how certain teeth have to move. They correspond to a specific movement of your tooth. So for those of you curious as to what kind of cases we can do, I'm going to show you actually some of our more extreme cases that we've done here in the office. And so this gentleman came in curious about Invisalign, and you can see just about how much crowding and how many things are going on here. So we'll go ahead and click play, and I'll show you kind of what this system can do. You can see it already moving the teeth here. And within the first 29 weeks, this patient had perfectly straight top teeth. And you can just see what a nice result that is there. That's a pretty extreme beginning, and I'll kind of, again, just to remind you here kind of what it looked like in the beginning versus what it looked like at the end. I think that's a pretty fantastic result here. So, it's another case of mine. It's actually a chiropractor friend of mine. He was looking to get his teeth straight, and you can see this seems like it would take a long time with braces. Now, if we use Invisalign, again, 17 weeks and his top teeth are straight, and then they finish out the bottom nicely. And we ended up actually doing some restorations here on the front to kind of fix some of the edges here for him. But these were fantastic cases, and we're actually doing a couple refinements, for these patients now. But you can see just how extreme of case we can do. And even if you have a very basic case, we have different levels of Invisalign that we can do. You do not necessarily have to spend the amount of money that you would on regular braces. There are express cases, if you have just a couple of teeth that are a little bit crooked, that are 5 or 10 trays. We have light cases that if you don't really fall in the category of a full comprehensive case, we can actually hook you up with a light case that will save you several $1,000s, for your treatment. So again, if you guys are interested in this, please feel free to come on into the office and get a consultation. We'll take some records, and when we're able to generate a video like this, us generating that video, it's not, you're not locked into the treatment at that point, but you can come and get a consultation to just see what Invisalign can do.